Back in 1981. Now, I originally posted this story in very short detail, and you can find it if you would like to see that version. I do believe in ghosts, and this experience happened when I was 11 in 1981. This is 100% real, no BS for upvotes. I was visiting my uncle, who I will call Tom, my male cousin, who I will call Lee, and my uncle's daughter, who I will call Blair, not a Blair Witch Project reference. Blair was around the same age as me, and we were playing in the living room of my uncle's home. Lee was in the kitchen washing dishes as Uncle Tom was at work. Blair and I heard the door knock, and Blair went to answer it. There was no one there, and we went back to playing. Lee asked us what it was, like his girlfriend, who we'll call Deb, was getting us food for dinner that evening, and she was staying over. We said it was no one, and it was a few minutes before the door knocked again to no one there when Lee answered it, thinking it was Deb. We just thought it might have been local kids playing a prank on us and didn't think much of it. It was later when Deb arrived home with the food that we all sat down to eat. Tom was also home and asked if we had taken his cigarettes, to which we said no. I asked Deb if she had heard the knocks, and she said that she often heard them when she stayed over. We all ate dinner that night worried, and Tom found his cigarettes half smoked on the couch. He found that odd. Blair and I shared a room that night, and it was around late, if I can recall, when it happened. Blair came over to me and said, "Why has the boy got blood on his face?" I freaked out, and I asked her to show me this boy. There was nothing there near the closet she was pointing to. Tom came in to see what we were doing, as we were making noises, and told us to get back into bed. It was then that the closet door swung open, and 2 VHS tapes. Tom grabbed us and woke up Lee and Deb, and we all slept downstairs. The knocking started again, and it annoyed me all night. Tom is dead now, and years before his death, he also told me that his cigarettes went missing, and all showed up on a boy sitting on the couch smoking a cigarette with blood on his face. Let's just say Tom gave up smoking soon after. Whoever this boy was will remain a mystery. Something wanted me bad. I was living in an apartment at the time, not uncommon for a 24-year-old to do, when my partner decided to go to bed early because they wanted to start doing a morning workout routine. Whatever, nerd, I don't want to do that. So that meant that after 8:30, I was alone, and I didn't need to be at work until 10:30 that next day, and I worked from home, so prep time was minimum. Roughly 10:40ish p.m., I get a knock on my front door. I was replaying Skyrim for the 57th time and assumed it was my neighbor since we were buddies. When I opened the door, no one was there. Ding dong ditching bastard, I thought to myself. Incorrectly, I closed the door and chuckled about it. Then I get scared for some reason. I'm a big guy, power lifter weighing 270 at the time, 6'4". I was shoved to the ground like a child, as if I was full force pushing a 6-year-old to the ground. I hit my head on the couch, and the controller broke when I flung it going down. I bled a lot from a small scratch on my head, like way more than I was expecting to. I get up from that shaken and look around for a monster. Nothing. The whole apartment is still, but I feel horrified, and I don't want to wake my partner up to tell them my big ass just was thrown by a fucking monster that I couldn't see. I cleaned up the blood and called my mom. She has had a lot of experience with paranormal stuff, and I'm more of a skeptic in general. She had me do some cleansing things and walk around, saying this was my house and it had no right to the place. I felt at ease a few hours later and went to bed. I woke up to a dull silence I was not used to. My fan was off, all the power was off. I checked the breaker box and nothing was flipped. So I called my uncle who worked on apartments, and he actually answered me and told me there was probably a main breaker outside flipped. I walked outside and saw my main breaker box was open and it was flipped off. I flipped it back on and went back inside. But now there was a tension I just couldn't shake. So I called my mom again and I told her what happened, and she said, "It turned your power off so you'd open the door. Otherwise, why did it knock the first time?" Whatever this behemoth was, it was back in my apartment and I started to worry. I heard heavy footsteps going to the bathroom and then in the bedroom we used as an office. When I went in that room, I was tense, but I was not going to fight this thing. For the last year we were there, that room felt heavy and weird and we did not like it. Luckily we moved and no longer have to deal with whatever that was. I have previous and past events, yes, so this took place in an apartment in Rogers, Arkansas in 2018. Early in 2018, my partner H woke up in a panic and saw what they described as an 8-foot tall, muscular figure standing over our child's crib, completely blacked out. When I was told this, I wasn't as worried as I should have been. My younger son started being fussy anytime he was in our room at that stage. He was a baby, so I didn't look into it. H would tell me things were moved and I assumed we were just moving things and forgetting about it. Then one night, my bedroom door swung open hard enough to put the doorknob through the drywall of my bedroom. At that point, I first contacted my mother who believes in spirits and the like, and she advised I cleanse the house. I did the sage burning and whatnot, but understand that I am firmly a skeptic. Then a few months later, roughly March or April 2018, is when my post took place. I cleansed the house again, and then that's when the power was cut from outside. My mother informed me the next day. She believes that whatever it is or was had been removed from the house and forced me to open the door by cutting the power to let it back in. I did not cleanse the apartment again because I could see that it led to negative effects like my power being cut, and I would rather deal with misplaced glasses in the house and tension than battling something that would force me to let it in anyway. The week that we actually moved out, roughly mid-2021, my younger son would still comment about a huge whispering guy in his room, but he was never able to make out anything that whatever it was said. With all this being said, I do not believe in this sort of things, but I know what happened to me and what the other members of my home tell me happened to them. So I'm just presenting you with what I experienced and what my partner and son has told me. The Port Dixon Chalet. My friends and myself planned a vacation trip during our 3-month semester break. We got ourselves checked into 2 different rooms of 4 people, so 2 per room. Little did we know that our room was haunted, the one I stayed in with another friend of mine. That evening, we decided to just dip our feet at the beach. As we were playing in the water, my friend suddenly yelled for help, and we looked back just to see her being pulled into the water, and the current was bringing her further. She kept yelling for help until some people around us managed to pull her from the water. Some said that they don't usually go swimming in the water because they believe there is something in it that our naked eyes cannot see. We did not think much of it and thanked those who rescued my friend from drowning. My friend did say that something was pulling her into the water and wanted to drown her. We told each other that we were just tired from the travels and decided to walk back to our rooms to take a bath. We decided to order in as the incident really traumatized our friend badly. The other 2 of my friends came over to my room and we had our dinners as we chatted till 2:30 a.m. Then, we decided to go to bed, so the 2 other friends went back to their rooms to sleep. I did not notice anything strange going on with my friend who almost drowned in the water moments ago. I switched the lights off and went to bed. An hour passed, and at about 3:45 a.m., I woke up to drink some water and that is when I saw something really dark sitting at the edge of my friend's leg. I can't see properly without my glasses, so I quickly grabbed them and looked at the foot of the bed again. No one. My friend was fast asleep and I did not think much of it, so I went back to bed quietly. The next morning, my friend woke me up, asking me to look at her shoulder. It looked like a bite mark, and the whole area was black and blue, but she claimed she felt no pain when it was pressed. Then I decided to tell her what I saw when I woke up for that drink, and she was really freaked out. She said she thought she was dreaming when she saw the figure sitting at the foot of the bed too. Then we heard a loud crashing in the bathroom, and when we opened the bathroom door, we were rooted to the ground. The bathroom mirror and the shelf behind the mirror fell into the sink, and the mirror broke. First of all, how did the shelf from the back of the mirror drop? Secondly, what triggered the mirror to shatter into pieces all of a sudden? So my friend had the idea to record ourselves in the room that day. As we recorded ourselves in the room, everything seemed normal until we decided to go back and check our recording. I know a video would be more exciting here, but we had to delete the recording as I did not want to keep it. There was this weird looking head that would pop out as if to say hello to us from the bathroom door. We thought it would be better for us to just check out from the hotel and head back home after that. This incident is still traumatizing and scares me to death. The Pulau Langkawi Girls Hostel. My friends and I decided to go for a 3-day trip to Pulau Langkawi, Malaysia after our graduation just to celebrate our freedom. We checked into this girls' hostel for some hostel experience, and we planned to take a walk because the weather was nice that day. We had so much fun together and decided to head back to our room as it was getting late. We took our baths, laid on our beds, and started to chat with each other again. Everything was normal that night, but when it was time to sleep, we decided to keep the lights on since it was a new place. In the middle of the night, my friend woke me up suddenly, saying that she wanted to head to the bathroom and wanted me to accompany her. The bathrooms are allocated at the end of the rooms outside because it was a traditional hostel style. So I got up and followed her to the bathroom in my half-sleepy state. I saw her going into the bathroom, and I followed her inside. I had to wait inside while she was inside the cubicle. It was quite a while since she went in and she wasn't out, so I called out her name and knocked on the door. No answer, but the door was locked. Since it is an olden day hostel style, there was a huge cement tub in the bathroom for fetching water for bath and washing. The water, as we know, comes directly from the mountains, and that is why the water is always refreshing and cold. The maintenance people there would switch off the water generator once everyone goes to sleep, so as my friend and I entered the bathroom that night, I knew that the generator was switched off and the tub was filled. When I called my friend's name again, and this time a little louder than before, the generator switched on by itself and water was overflowing on the floor. I panicked and continued to knock on the door for my friend in the bathroom. I noticed that the water in the tub started to bubble up as if someone was trying to breathe underwater. My heart started pounding and I did not feel good about what was about to happen next. So I quickly opened the bathroom door and rushed out, and there was my friend looking at me in shock. She told me that she was waiting outside for me to come out of the bathroom. I told her that she went to the bathroom first, and that is why I followed her, but she denied it. So out of frustration with her denial, I opened the bathroom door to show her that the water generator was switched on by itself and the water was overflowing on the floor. As soon as I opened the door, there was no water overflowing and the generator was not switched on. My friend denied that she heard me calling her name in the bathroom too, so we decided to go back to our room and talk about it the next day. That morning when I narrated the whole thing to them when they woke up, One of the girls from the hostel said that they too heard someone singing in the bathroom when they knew no one was in there. They also said that they have seen a woman in a white dress roaming the hostel who loves to sit under the huge banyan tree all night long. It seems the history of that hostel is that of a woman who committed suicide because she caught her boyfriend cheating on her with another woman in that same hostel. So that is why this woman in white roams around the hostel to get her revenge, and so far 12 girls have died mysteriously here. It was our luck that we escaped her on time.